So I did over 2,000 Surya Namaskara, otherwise known as sun salutations, and my life changed forever. Now, as I'm saying this, it's kind of making me even think like, why the heck would somebody do over 2,000 sun salutations? Now, if you don't know what sun salutations are, Surya Namaskara, I'm going to be explaining that for you because you may want to do something similar or the exact same thing. Because like I'm going to break down in this video, since doing this, in terms of financial life, in terms of health, even love life, even deeper spiritual connection, a lot changed. And I felt to do this video because actually when I did this, so I didn't do this recently, I did this around 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, I was going through this period in my life where it felt almost like, you know, when you have like a big decision to make in life, maybe you've made it or maybe you're gonna make it, but oftentimes with these big decisions, sometimes what can come with it is a bit of anxiety, a bit of uncertainty, a bit of feeling like, am I doing the right thing? Even when you commit to it, still, you know, in the back of the mind, it might be a bit feeling like, okay, I think I'm doing the right thing, but what if this happens? Or what if I do this? Like those other voices can come in. So anyway, around 2 years ago, I was going through this period where I had a big decision to make. The reason why I'm sharing this is because I want anyone here who's watching this who feels like, why the heck would somebody do 2,000 plus sun salutations, Surya Namaskara in their life? Actually, you will see that very quickly things shifted even while I was doing this 2 years ago, to the point where 2 years later, I can look back at this point and know that this was a very pivotal thing that changed everything for me, right? And actually my girlfriend as well. So, and actually I do want to say something though, because sometimes we can say, yeah, my whole life changed from this one thing. But to be honest, I believe if somebody says my whole life changed from one thing, that's not entirely true. Why? Because there's a culmination of things, no? There's a combination of things that happen in life to create this change. But looking back, this one thing here, you know, when you're at a fork in the road, you can either go this way or you can go that way. Oh, that looks the same way. You can either go this way or you can go that way. Based on how you're feeling, what you're doing will determine which path you go. And based on which path you go determines which manifestations happen, determines which results you get, determine how happy you are, determine what people come into your life, determines everything. So this thing was pivotal. But first of all, I want to say, what exactly possesses somebody to do so many? Because those of you who are familiar with sun salutation, Surya Namaskara, you will know that even just doing 10 of them is kind of, you feel it. Even just to, actually, even if you're a newbie and you're new to this and you've never done it before, even just doing 2 of these, you will feel it big time. When I explain what this is, and if you've never done this before, try it. Comment below, you will let me know how you feel after doing this for the first time, or how you feel after doing this for many times if you've done it before. So what are Surya Namaskaras or sun salutations? Very simple. It's certain asanas or yoga positions in a sequence. It's just a sequence of positions that you can do. Generally, 2 of these positions will take around about 2 minutes, right? Take anywhere between 1 minute, 2 minutes, something like that. So you can see by doing 20 to 40 of these, it will take easy 20, 40 minutes, depending on how fast or slow you're doing it. So it can take a while. The reason why I felt to do this was very synchronistic, right? There was no one telling me to do this, or there was no thing telling me to do this. I just had a feeling. So what happened was 2 years ago, I was in a very good job, right? A very good role. I was leading a lot of the marketing projects, speaking, training people, thousands of people every single week. So on the outside, everything was looking amazing. But you know, when you're going through something in life and on the outside, whether it's on social media, whether it's friends, family, whether it's even kind of yourself is tricked by this. And you're kind of thinking and seeing, and everyone's seeing that, hey, Josh's life is amazing. He's traveling, he's doing all this, he's helping so many people, he's learning all these different things, he knows these different skills. It must be amazing doing what Josh is doing. But inside, I knew that something very different was happening, right? Something very different was happening to the point where you just know that either something feels missing in life or something needs to change. Now, sometimes you may not know exactly what needs to change or what is the missing thing, but you just feel it. You know, some people say in your heart or deep down, or your soul knows, or some people say energy doesn't lie. And back then, I was feeling like everything on the outside was amazing, right? Even the company that I was working at was going to fly to Dubai, right? I was going to be one of the first team members to go to Dubai, help set everything up. So on the outside, it was like beautiful. New city, going from UK. Those of you who live in UK will know that the weather there is not quite like Dubai. Not quite like Dubai. Dubai is very different weather. Those of you who do business will know that UK tax, very different to Dubai, right? Dubai is very minimal tax, right? Borderline 0% to 5% depending on what you're doing. UK is borderline, you work hard in your life, then the UK government says, give me everything that you've just earned for. It's a very different story. So when this opportunity came along, logical mind was like, oh my gosh, let's do this. But deep down, there was this feeling that no, now is the right time. Now is the right time to do something else. So cut long story short, when at this role, I basically handed in my notice, handed in my time and just said, hey, I'm done for now. Thank you for everything. But yeah, I'm going to go different path now. When I did this, obviously you can imagine, think about it. If you've got something happening in life where you've got a, either it's in relationship, you're thinking about breaking up, or you're in business, you're thinking about doing something else, or you're in even your health, you've been doing something for some time, but now you want to do something else. Whatever it is, if you're in a fork in the road, or you've been in a fork in the road, you will know what this is like. So all of a sudden, this different anxiety, these different feelings were happening, different like thoughts of, should I still follow through with this? Should I do something else? Different people were messaging me saying, Josh, why are you doing this? What are you doing? It's kind of like so much in the mind. If you have gone through anything like this, or are even going through something like this right now, this video is for you, right? This video will help you, or even in the future, if something like this happens to you, this video will show you exactly what you can do to work through this, to make sure that not only are you making the right decision, but whatever decision that you make is the right one for you, right? It is the one that will give you that optimal growth, that optimal path, that best lifeline. So one day I was having all this clutter, I was still like meditating and stuff, but you know, sometimes you can meditate but still not cut through the clutter. I had this feeling because I've done sun salutations in the past, and if you don't know what sun salutations are, I'll either put a video where you can just click on it and look at it. Not my video, but something that you can look to really see what these are about. Or I'll even just overlay something on top of this video depending on how much editing time I have, but you will get an appreciation of what they are. So particularly yoga asanas, yoga positions. I remember doing this in the past, and I remember doing like 11 or 21, and I would feel like my energy would change, where I could have more clarity, where I would have like different insights, different downloads, and just different ideas that would just almost be like from the deep parts of my subconscious that wanted to come through to help me. You know what I mean? Because they say your subconscious knows a lot more than your conscious mind, which it does. So I remember doing this, and I remembered one time I did 51. And actually, when I say 51, it's what most people would say 102. If you look online when they say 102 sun salutations, it's because a sun salutation is split into two parts, the left side and the right side. I was taught by the different mentors and masters that I learned from, that one side and one side, left and right, equals one cycle. But most people treat them as two cycles. So that's why I was felt to do 51 sun salutations, which is equal to 102. When I felt to do this, it's because I remember doing this and how it just cleared my mind. So what I did the next day, I found some space. It was in the local gym. I found this random space in this like sauna area. Not actually in the sauna. If I did this in the sauna, I would have passed out for sure. Because after 2, you would be feeling it. After 10, you'd be feeling it. After 51, yeah, different story. So I found this space in this this gym, in this sauna area, but outside the sauna area. Put a yoga mat down, just did 51. At the end of this, my mind had not felt so clear in months, maybe even years, right? Maybe years is exaggeration, months to year, like in a long time. But the interesting thing is, and what a lot of people do wrong with sun salutations, is they will do the sun salutations or the Surya Namaskar, and then they will finish. They will get up, pick up their mat, and then go about their day, which is beautiful. You get the benefits. You know, a lot of people talk about burning 1,500 calories per day just by doing, if they were to do 51 or 102 sun salutations. 51 of my ones, 102 of what most people say. So, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to get deeper into my clarity, into my psyche, into just a feeling of just doing this. So I did this first one, and at the end of it, I didn't just pick up my things and stop. I sat down and meditated. Now, when I meditated, I wrote down some insights as well that I got. So I wrote this down every day when I was doing this. So I'll tell you why it was every day. Every day when I was doing this, I wrote down insights from that day of doing this. So at the end of this first time that I did it, the 51 times, I had so much clarity, mind was just at peace. Then what I got an insight was, I got a few different insights. One was how to get more clarity in my mind, which had been a long time of not having that, which was by doing this. So what this insight came through was, hey, don't just stop this here. but do this for 21 days total. So imagine, I've just pushed myself like an hour straight doing these sun salutations, getting to the point where I'm like physical exertion. And then I get this insight to not just do it today, but do it for another 20 days, 21 days total. I felt this insight, my mind kicked in like WTF, but my soul kicked in like, I need to do this. This will be the thing that will keep me grounded, keep me straight, keep all these conflicting voices and thoughts out of my mind and just keep it very to the point, right? Clear, clarity, feeling good, not having all this anxiety, having all this worry. So anyway, I heard that voice and I was like, you know what, something feels weird about doing this, but I'm gonna do it, right? Interestingly, I'm gonna do it. Because also I got another insight of some things, of assets and different things that I had been holding on to, clinging onto this energy. And if you've got any financial goals, you know what it's like. Sometimes you want to keep building your finances, but this wanting to keep on, cling on, save, causes this energy to like kind of stagnate, right? Money is currency, current is flowing, meant to flow. But back then it was this feeling of needing to hold on to this just in case I'm leaving my job. What if something happens? I need to hold on to this. But I got this insight not to hold on, but actually to sell some of my assets, or actually to allow this energy to flow. Because what it showed me, crazy, like these deeper insights that just came through. And I'm sharing these insights with you because maybe some of these insights may help you. But if you were to do this same thing that I did or something similar, maybe you'll get different insights. No doubt you'll get different insights for what you're going through, what will help you. So what it showed me was that my energy was holding on to these assets in fear of not having enough finances, but also in fear that what if these assets skyrocket in the future and I miss out on that, like the FOMO. But what it showed me is what this is doing is this is holding my energy to these assets in this like clouds type of thing, almost like in a chain. When I did this, and the insight that came was to offload these assets, sell these assets, to bring this energy into this moment so we can use it and let it flow. There was a lot of mind kicking in of why would I do this, but I need to say this, what I've left my job, what if this happened? But I just trusted, I just listened. And this would be the biggest thing, guys, if you do try this, which I recommend every single one. If you're watching this, you're watching this for a reason. If you do try this, there's 51 sun salutations per day, okay? I did for 21 days, all right? So 102, what most people call for 21 days, equals to 2,142. So I did these 102 sun salutations, or as I call them, 51, every single day for 21 days. And every day, a different insight came. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of what came through. That way you can implement some of these that resonate for you. And also, if you want some new ones, some different ones, you can try this too, or something similar, which I'm going to get to at the end of the video of how you can actually implement this for yourself. So I noted down, so that was day one. Do this, not just for today, but another 20 days, 21 days total. Why? Because you can see that right now thoughts is clearing, getting the clarity. Not only that, I had this insight and this clear knowing of what I need to do with my finances to allow these things to flow and allow these things to grow, which in hindsight is exactly what happened. I know that if I didn't listen to this and I carried on with what my mind thought was safe, the safe way, the comfort zone way, actually this whole year, 2 years wouldn't have transpired exactly like this. It would have been tougher, for sure. I can see now. Back then, couldn't see. So that was first insight. So I did it second day. Now let me just see. So second day, okay. Second day when I did this, I could feel like, before I did it, there was this kind of like heavy energy, like in my mind, different thoughts, different patterns, different things happening. This like, I can't put my finger on the energy, but it was just like an energy that was kind of weighing down. Not in a bad way where I was depressed or anything, but in a way where it was affecting my mood. It was affecting my decisions. It was affecting the clarity that I had. I noted down second day, doing these 51 cycles, 51 sun salutations. By the 31st one, that heavy energy cleared completely gone. Now think about this. This might not sound like much because it might be like, okay, 31 sun salutations later, energy cleared, cool. But think about this. Most people are living their life with these thoughts, with these burdens, with this heavy energy, not able to get rid of it. Just living life carrying this baggage around. If I told you within 20, 30 minutes, you was able to just clear all of that, have a fresh slate, and now not only have a fresh slate, but have new ideas, new clarity coming through, would you take it? Or would you carry on moving with that stagnant energy, which most people are moving throughout the day, throughout the night, throughout the next day, throughout the next night, throughout the next month, the next month, the next month, the next year, throughout time. So that was second day. Third day, I noted down here, settled energy, not just in myself, but also in the people around me, right? Different energies with different people were starting to settle as well. Sixth day, I'm going to skip a few days now. Sixth day, I had this feeling, this insight of like almost like healing my head, healing my, what felt like, if you want to say, crown chakra, where it felt like before there was this stagnant energy that had built up over some months or years. Because prior I was in this hustle, in this busyness, in this like constant game of just trying to get ahead, but in this reactionary mentality. Because I was working very intensely. Now in this one session, on this 6th day of doing this 51 sun salutations, I wrote down, this is the exact words, years worth of brain fog / cluttered thinking. It felt like 50% had healed in that one day. It felt like there was an arena in my mind there was an arena. And usually there's thoughts coming in that can't necessarily control. Yes, in meditation maybe can silence them, but once meditation is done, they come back in. On this 6th day, I noticed it was like an arena that I could push all the thoughts out and let one thought at a time come in to allow all of my processing power in my brain to then process it, to deal with it, to come up with a solution for it. And it felt like instead of having all that processing power, trying to do 50,000 things at once, all that processing power could use for that one thing at once, and then it was just solved very quickly. Like this, like even if you did this just to have that feeling of what I felt with that arena thing, I know my job is done, right, with sharing this message, because that one thing there was powerful. Going from what felt like so many thoughts, so much clutter, so many things out there, to in that one moment, like an arena where I could choose what was coming in and deal with it, which was very pivotal in this moment when deciding, okay, where am I going to live? What am I going to focus on now? What am me and my girlfriend going to do now? Like so many different things. So that was day 6. I'm running through these very quick because I want to give you guys the key takeaways and then finally finish this so you guys can know exactly what to do. So after that, around the midpoint, so day 9 to day 16, I'll be honest, actually, in this midpoint bit, some of the days I didn't really feel too much. Like I've told you of some of those other days where I felt this, I felt that, I felt the arena thing, I felt this clarity, I felt this insight, I felt this download to do this. In the midpoint, some of these days, actually, it felt like I started to plateau. Like I was doing this and spending like 50 minutes, an hour doing these 51 cycles, 51 sun salutations in a day. But then it felt like there was no real benefit. Like I was just doing it, feeling tired at the end, maybe feeling a bit less brain fog or less overthinking. But actually some days I still felt it because some days I was kind of distracted. I was doing the sun salutations, but then still thoughts were there. Not only that, in this period, because I was still working for my previous company, because I handed in my notice, but I still had like 2 weeks left, I was still very busy, right? I was working like some days 16-hour days. So some days I wasn't getting home until like 12 at night, 11 at night, meaning that I hadn't done my sun salutations for the day, and I could have easily said, hey, it's late tonight, it's like 11, 12, 1 a.m., I'll do it tomorrow morning, and then do two tomorrow. But the key thing here is I stuck to my word. And not just my word, actually, it was the word, the download, the insights that came through on that first day. I stuck to that promise that I gave myself. The reason why I wanted to highlight this is because sometimes online, you might see this, right? It's like people can give you like a highlight reel. So it's like, hey, do this, everything will work out. But what you find is you do this, but that's not quite the reality that they sold you. So I wanted to share this with you to show you the reality that it wasn't just every day something was happening, downloads were happening, clarity was happening, tapping to higher self was happening. There were some days where it felt like nothing was happening. There were some days where I could have easily said, hey, I got back home at like midnight, 1 a.m., I'm not going to do this. But on these days, I still did it. On these days, still follow through with that word. And I'm sharing this because I know that some of you watching this, maybe there's some things that you know you should be doing that you wanted to commit to, but you're not doing. And every day that passes by and you're not doing it, it hurts. You know, you feel that feeling of, I know I should be doing something, but I'm not doing it. Or you feel that feeling of, yeah, I should be doing it, but this excuse has happened or this thing has happened, so I'm not going to do it. But the reality is, if you did it, a lot of things will change very fast. And if you want to commit to something like this or this exact thing that I did to see what happens for you, there will be a period like this where it will feel like, hey, nothing's happening, or hey, I'm busy, I haven't got time, let me do it tomorrow, let me do it the next day. But if you do that, momentum is lost. So I wanted to point this out because if you're committing to something, stick with it, especially when you know it's going to benefit you as much as this. So in these days, I'll be honest, the midpoint, there were some days where I didn't feel anything, or was getting back at 12 a.m., 12 at night, 1 a.m., but still doing it, still knowing I'm going to have to spend another 50 minutes, 60 minutes doing these sun salutations, but still doing it. But the interesting thing is, even on the days where I didn't feel anything was happening, what it's kind of doing is kind of building that momentum, You know what I mean? It's like you might not see when you're shifting the gears in your car, there's that period where you shift the gear, you put the clutch down, and you're shifting, the clutch is down, and it's almost like a silent period where there's no throttle anymore, nothing's happening, but you're still doing something to go into that next gear. Then when you go into that next gear, boom, it kicks in and you carry on going even faster. So it was like this, because then around, let's talk about day 19, day 20, and a few of the days in the midpoint, could feel that was going very deep and very present. Like I hadn't felt that present for a while, if not for maybe glimpses in my life, but not like this intense, where it's just a deep presence in this moment, clarity, and an inner knowing, inner peace. To the point where day 21, it went from feeling only like I had that consciousness, that presence, that clarity when I did the sun salutations and after when I meditated, but feeling like a knowing that this had integrated into my way of being, which it did after that first 21-day cycle and going into what I was doing in the future. So that was the thing, that was how I broke it down. 21 days, 51 sun salutations. What I want to leave every single one of you guys here with this video is seeing how even just doing this once, I want you guys to try this. Test this just doing it once. Once you work out how to do sun salutations, if you don't know how to, if you do know how to do Surya Namaskar, then beautiful, do this, commit to it. But don't just do it, sit with yourself after it. When you're in that peace, in that clarity, sit down in exactly the same spot, meditate, see what comes through. Don't necessarily look for things because then you're engaging the mind again. Because think about it, you do 51 sun salutations, you're disengaging the mind. The mind is getting so tired, so worn out, so repetitive that it starts to fall into the back. Now when the conscious mind falls into the back, the subconscious can come through, or the superconscious can come through. So I want you guys, whoever's watching this, whoever feels called to this, if you stuck this far, for sure that this is for you. Commit to yourself. Commit to yourself for at least one day. If you feel the 21 days, commit to it. But I know that once you do the one day, most likely the 21 days will come straight after it, right? Because you'll feel it too. My last two takeaways for this is, for some of you watching this, to do the exact thing that I did. See what clarity comes through. See the inner peace that you feel. See that newfound sense of presence. Yes, there's also the added benefit of burning 1,500 calories per day. If you look at these videos, people talking about this. But for me, it was that deeper purpose, that deeper feeling. Because very soon after that, I had a very deep spiritual experience that I had never had in my whole life, right? I hear some people talking about this when they do psychedelics or magic mushrooms or these different things. I didn't do any of that. It was natural. Very deep spiritual experience that changed my life forever. If any of you guys are interested in hearing more about that, let me know in the comments. I will do another video about it, but it was very, very deep. And from that deepness, that was what changed so much. So see, it's a knock-on effect. Doing this 21-day cycle, then that help with the deep experience, and that deep experience helped with the knock-on effect for the rest of the 1-2 years onwards, to the point where, yeah, life has just never been the same, in a beautiful way, the most beautiful way. Which is why I'm doing this video, because I would love this to happen to you too, where you may be going through something in life right now, feeling like not sure how to make it change, how to get through it, but it is. You're just 21 days away from a whole different life. So that's first thing, doing the exact same thing. Or the second thing is, if you don't want to commit to something like this, or you're not able to because it's too physically taxing on you, then thinking about something similar that you can do that is similar to this, in the way where it is bypassing that conscious mind. That's the main thing here, is doing something that doesn't give your conscious mind the normal day-to-day activity that it normally likes to do, of processing thoughts, doing certain things. Yes, you can meditate, but sometimes meditating, you can't clear through that thoughts. Yes, you can do breath work, but then sometimes it's just the breath work feels good, then after it doesn't. Do something that pulls that conscious mind to the side and allows that unconscious, that deeper part of you to integrate into your waking life. Those are the two takeaways. Same thing that I did, or similar thing in the sense of allowing conscious mind to detach, bypassing that conscious mind, allowing unconscious to come through, allowing superconscious to come through, and allowing the higher version of you to permeate your reality and manifest miracles, manifest your highest destiny path. So if you've got any questions about this process or anything in particular, let me know in the comments. Other than that, if you got any value from this video and these insights, and maybe if you're committing to this, hit the like button, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe for more. Peace.